Breaking news, man. Breaking news. Breaking news. 3 gunshot salute. Breaking news. P. Diddy's house raided in Los Angeles and in Miami. The warrant was sent by New York, Southern District of New York. This is going to be interesting. Watch this to the end. If you're not subscribed, subscribe while I hit you with this intro. All right. All right, you know what it is. Breaking news, man. Breaking news. P. Diddy's house was raided in Los Angeles and Miami. It's on and popping, just so y'all understand. Yo, listen, man. A lot of y'all is happy, and I can't understand that. Why we happy for the demise of one of our own? Why are we happy for the demise of one of our own? That's what I want to know. I mean, this is not whether he's guilty or innocent. That's not where I'm at, because right now they've been trying him on social media. They've been trying him on YouTube, Instagram, everything that got anything to do with social media. You get all the rat bastards that got Twitter fingers and got a voice to go up there and say what they want to say. Now, he haven't been even charged yet. There was a lawsuit filed against Cassie on him, and that's what that is. The lawsuit was filed. In the lawsuit, they had a lot of allegations. It was enough for them to investigate. They investigated it. And then now, from that investigation, from all the prior bodyguards and security guards and best friends and artists and everybody else that's disgruntled about whatever went down with their business dealings with him, because he rose to the top. And, you know, let me ride a little bit. Let me ride a little bit. See, once you get to the top, everyone is against you. Now, everyone wants to see this man torn down. You see his son behind me. That's his son, King, right there. They got his son and his other son, Justin, in handcuffs. Who could be happy to see a man's children in handcuffs? No other race do this. Like I said, this is not to defend Diddy. This is just to speak for the race that we have to stick together as a people. And I love using the O.J. Simpson trial as a definition of that. We knew that man was allegedly guilty as sin, but our people rallied for him because we didn't want the government to take one of our own. I go away for 26 years and come back, and now here they go. They're, you know, turning against their own. We was a nation. I remember when the hip-hop movement was going on and we had the Black Power movement, Tribe Called Quest, you know, y'all know all the, you know, Queen Latifah, you know, come on, man. You know, KRS-One, we stuck together and we was giving positive messages in hip-hop. And then the gangster rap came out. Once the gangster rap came out, it's like all hell broke loose. It's talk about the most craziest of the craziest, where back then they was making up stories. Nowadays, you got them telling stories that they're hearing in their neighborhoods and they're inserting themselves in it. And then now, here comes the feds. They done turned it around, starting with Young Thug, saying that they're allowed to use the lyrics that a rapper rap against them. But why they haven't used what was penned by Martin Scorsese against him? Why they didn't use Scarface against the writers and actors of Scarface? But here it is, our people, they have an art and a talent, and they put out this content. And, you know, we used to say, you know, I got a house with a jacuzzi in the back and a mansion and this and that, and we was living in the projects. And everybody knew that it was just rap, it was entertainment. But now when the dude go out and say I was sliding, I gave him 2 to the head, he fell to the ground, I stood over him and I did this and I did that. Now they saying that's true. Everything is true. You remember in the show Raising Kanan when, what was the kid name? Man, I can't remember the kid name. Kanan's man. Kanan's homeboy, you know, man, the name on the tip of my tongue. When he made the thing about, you know, the streets need a body. And he talked about the murder that they was already, you know, looking at Kanan for when he's saying the streets need a body. It don't matter if you did it or you didn't do it. They're going to get you. Now, when the feds come in, let me explain this to you. You see all these alphabet boys behind me on the screen? When the feds come in, they don't come in when they don't have nothing. They got enough from the Cassie lawsuit, the other lawsuit, you know, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. They got all that information put together, and they've been bringing people into the grand jury, and now they feel like they have enough because they had to have enough in order to take it to a judge to get a judge to sign off on the warrant. A judge do not sign off on a warrant unless you can show probable cause that a crime was committed. So they obviously convinced the judge that a crime was committed, and being that they got Homeland Security involved, we know that it's a sex trafficking crime. Now, they went and got Epstein. Epstein supposedly, you know, hung himself, you know, in the prison, and that cut it short there. We already know they pick up Diddy, you know what's going to happen. Whatever he's involved in, you better believe he's going to tell because, yes, he's never been a criminal. He's never been a street dude, so he's going to tell it all. So this is going to really blow out of proportion. You got R. Kelly sitting in jail doing 30 years trying to get out of jail, so you don't know what R. Kelly could have told them or not, you know? And I remember the time when we used to protect, you know, each other. We used to protect each other, but now it's about throwing each other to the wolves. Gunshots, 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 where they do that at, you know? Now, white people turn on you in court. White people get us to turn on each other, you know, on social media, on YouTube, in every aspect of the word, and they make it that it's all right to turn on each other, but you're not seeing them turn on each other in public, but here we go turning on each other. Now, let me show you Justin in handcuffs, being that you see King up there, so you understand what's going on. I don't understand how somebody could really be into wanting to see this man's children in handcuffs and then call yourself, you know, when I hit the back of my hand, you know that mean black. You know, that don't make any sense to me. The feds, they come in. They had to go to a judge, like I said, and show the judge the evidence they have, and the judge feel it was enough, and they went and raided his home in Los Angeles and Miami, and 9 times out of 10, you already know they looking for the servers, the computers, his cell phones, and everything else. And you already know how I only been home a couple of years, and I done had 2, 3 different cell phones, and they all upstairs. So now, if something happened, they come grab the cell phones. Here it is. They got everything that's in there, and you know how we don't comb through what's in our cell phones because we know that ain't nothing going on, and at the moment, you know what I mean? So we don't even pay attention to it. If somebody send you something incriminating, to say, let me delete that. And nowadays, even if you delete it, it's still there. That's why a lot of people say don't deal with Apple. But where we going to go from here that our people is trying to take down one of our own that became a billionaire, and here it is, they trying to just tear him apart. Where do they do that at? Don't forget, you got the Kennedys that was charged with alleged rape in the Long Island home. You know, you got, you know, like I said, Bruce Springsteen. You got all these people that was, you know, Europeans that was charged, and they put their things under the rug, under the radar, and they protect their own. No one is saying that Diddy is innocent or that he should get away with the crime, but let the law enforcement do their jobs and let it play out. But instead, y'all done gave them all these allegations. All they got to do is grab 1 or 2, get anyone to come in, testify. Then after they testify, then they're going to fill out a civil suit, and they're going to get paid big time because the civil suit, then they're going to write a book. They're going to do a movie on it, but that they help with the demise. Just like, let me give you a good one. Just like, because we feel like riding. We feel like riding. Just like the Keefe D thing. Now, I'm letting you know now, and I'm predicting this first here at Unique Mecca Audio. Vlad is going to get a movie deal about how he solved Tupac's killer. See, y'all didn't even think about that. Vlad is going to get a movie deal how he solved Tupac's murder and apprehended his alleged killer. You know, because everything is about the bag. And it's like America turned into one big cesspool where you just talk trash about each other, and as outlandish as you can get it, you get it. Diddy have not been charged with a crime in the court of law, but he's been tried, convicted, and he's being sentenced right now as we speak on social media. How much more can we take? Right now, everybody's mad at Diddy because he got the bag and he got $1 billion. You know what I mean? So everybody's against him. So it's like the more you go up, it's the same thing you see on YouTube. I get 90,000 subscribers. And now here you go, everybody's going to come at me. A lot of people's not going to like what I say, but I'm just giving it like it is. I'm not giving my opinion if he's innocent or guilty. That's not what my issue is. My issue is we must stick with our people. And like the Europeans said, you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. But Diddy has been guilty and could never prove his innocence because he's already been tried and convicted in a court of law. YouTube court of law, you know? Now, all this started because of the liquor. Diddy was down with, I think it's Ciroc, what the heck is that? Ciroc, DeLeon, and Patron, whatever it is. But it's 3 liquor that he's charged with, that he was involved with. 2 of them was owned by the Europeans. 1 of them he owned 50%, so they wanted to put all their money behind the 2 that they owned 100% of, and didn't want to put no marketing behind the 1 that he owned 50% of. So he took them to court to try and set the record straight, so that when the next young black entrepreneur come behind and get a liquor deal, that they get their worth and they get their marketing and their branding the same as the brands that's owned by the Europeans, because all 3 of them is owned by the Europeans. It's Ciroc, DeLeon, and Casamigo. You know what I mean? Now, he owned 50% of 1 of them. So they said, well, we ain't going to promote that. So they promote that in the black clubs, the black neighborhoods, but the other 2, they're promoting it in, Beverly Hills, in Club Live, in all the places that, you get the bag. So then he said, why my joint ain't there? He took him to court. He was doing good with that lawsuit. And once he did that, he violated protocol, because now you're going against the very people that allowed your black ass to come in amongst their circle. And they're saying, take what we give you, not what you deserve. Don't worry about what you deserve. You deserve what we choose to give you. And that's the way that is. And that's how they turned their back on him and let him go. Gunshots, gunshots, gunshots. But like I said, look at his son in handcuffs. How do y'all feel? Put that in the comments. We understand that, y'all hate Diddy. Fully understood. You know what I mean? Multi-billionaire. He been shining, flossing for years. He haven't done enough for the black people. A lot of y'all feel. So we understand how you feel about Diddy. But how do you feel about little Justin in handcuffs? How do you feel about King in handcuffs? How do you feel about his children? What if that was your children? And everybody's already running on YouTube. Oh, Justin was arrested because he was put in handcuffs. No, he was not arrested. He was put in handcuffs to detain him and keep him away from the crime scene, because they know Diddy's prone to have weapons in the house. Because everybody got weapons, because you already know, the Second Amendment. So now they put him in handcuffs because they do that when they search a warrant. They take you out, they put you in handcuffs, and they put you on the curb, and they search the house. Standard procedure. But instead, everyone is on YouTube saying that Justin got arrested, Justin got arrested. No, Justin got detained so that they could search the house. Once they're done searching the house, taking the laptop, the computers, the cell phone, the electronic equipment, and anything that might have any visual or audio on it that they could use in the case of law, you know what I mean? That's, then they'll put him back in the house. But I feel just like when, cause we riding. Just like when Bill Clinton was in office. Everybody went at Bill Clinton for that Monica Lewinsky thing, when he said, I didn't have sex with that woman, this and that. And a lot of people was hating Bill Clinton. A lot of people was loving him. It was mixed feelings, mixed emotions. But one thing they did, and they even did that with President Obama, they said that children was off limits. The children is off limits. So they never talked about Chelsea Clinton. They let her grow up, have a normal life. They said they never talked about Sasha in Malaysia, because they said they're going to grow up and let them have a normal life. So they was off limits. But when they come to the hip hop community and our people, then now we sit here and we have, lock his kids up too. Where do you get that from? Who is happy to see a man's children in handcuffs? Put me in handcuffs all day, throw me away, bury the key, but leave my children out of this. Leave your children out of this. Right now, we're supposed to be saving the youth. That's what this is about, saving the youth. But right now, the first thing we have to do, we have to learn to come together as a people. Yes, many of you believe that Diddy is guilty of sin. But we believe that OJ was guilty of sin. But Peter was OJ against the government, we rode with it. When they come in like they did that deep, when you got, you know, Homeland Security, the FBI, and they raided 2 houses, one on the east, one on the west, and they using crowbars to bust in a man's mansion in the richest neighborhood in California, you know they got something. Bottom line, you know they got something. So I'm going to say this for the record, you know what I mean? From what I know. When the feds come in like that and they doing their investigation and come in like that, you're going to jail. No ands, ifs, or about it. You're not beating that. You're not beating that. Because all you have to do is prove guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And believe me, all the stories we've been hearing on social media, there's a whole lot of reasonable doubts. A whole lot of reasonable doubts. But now it's become facts. So what do y'all think about that? Put it in the comments. And like I said, no, a lot of y'all don't like me, you know. Even speaking about black people sticking together, because that's been foreign to you for the 26 years that I've been gone. But I just wanted to bring this to you to let you know that Diddy's still one of us, man. Yes, he's accused and tried and convicted on social media of some horrendous crimes that, you know, in some country, they castrate you for that. And you know it, and I know it. So that's where we at. The Black Panthers stuck together. The Black Panthers stuck together, and they showed us to come together as a black people and hold each other down. They even robbed white banks to take the money to fund the Black Panther movement, to move the black race forward. But now, look how we had even Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. We had our people. Look how they even silenced Farrakhan. He pulled off one of the biggest impossibles of all time by getting 1 million black men coming off of the crack era to go to march on Washington, D.C. Collected millions of dollars out there. And then the government went at him saying, we want to do a check on what happened to the money because they made this much money. So now they want to try and get him for embezzlement, tax evasion, and everything else. So he had to fall back under the radar. And you know, Farrakhan is one of the best that we had during our time. But they tried to turn our people against him. And he already knew how the government is. So he knew when to fall back and be quiet. You know what I mean? I mean, they even silenced Kyrie Irving. You know what I mean? They silenced, you know, Kanye West. You one of us and you speak out, you get silenced or you go to prison and God forbid you get assassinated. They even silenced Jay-Z. But Diddy went up against these big liquor companies and that was his mistake in their world because they said, Negro, stay in your place. Stay in the nigger's place. We give you what we choose to give you, not what you want. Not what you expect, not even what you deserve. We give you what we choose to give you. And that's what's going on with this. But like I said, when you got, you know, Homeland Security, FBI, they raiding a man that got $1 billion, know that he got enough to pay for lawyers to fight them, and they still go and do this and got the cameras out there and showing what they doing, you already know what it is, man. You know, you don't stand a chance. It's, you know, my opinion, it don't look good for the Puff Daddy. At all, it don't look good for the Puff Daddy. But, you know, I don't want to see any of our people go to prison. I don't even want the man that gave my brother 2 to the head to go to prison. I don't even want the man that tied up my mother, kidnapped her, and pistol whipped her and everything else to go to prison. I don't wish prison on anyone. I did 26 years of my life for that, and that's why I'm trying to tell the youth, don't go down that road. It is not worth it. I've been there, and I've done that. I faced the devil. I faced the federal government coming in the same way they came at Diddy when they ran up in Mecca Audio, 100 alphabet boys coming up in there, and they grabbing every little bits and pieces of paper, and they brought it to the trial, and they even had a phone number. They didn't even know what the phone number was, and they presented that as evidence, and they trying to say that the phone number belonged to this and that. My lawyer said, no, call the number, you know? And they called the number was the hospital, but they said that was my connect. So I guess I was getting my drugs from the ER. You know what I mean? But that's how it is. You can't win, man. You can't win when you go against them. They coming in at Diddy like this. And you know what? Look how fast they moving on Diddy, but look how slow they're moving on, you know, the ex-president getting ready to run for president, so that by the time he go to trial, he'll already, you know, ran for presidency and would be president. So they stalled that out. But watch how fast they're going to move on Diddy. Give it less than 30 days, they're going to have an indictment out for Diddy. That's just my opinion from what I know about the feds. I've never seen the feds take 3 years to do no case unless they're trying to just bury you. And that's what they're doing, you know, with the ex-president, you know, and they taking too long. And just from them doing that, it's showing the people, you know, to believe that there's malice. There's an ulterior motive behind it. We had the situation with January 6th with them storming the Capitol 4 years ago. And they still haven't done anything to Donald Trump, and they still haven't done nothing. Not saying that they should, because he shouldn't go to jail either. That's not what I'm saying. But the point I'm making is it's been 4 years and they playing these games. 4 years. But watch how fast they moved on Diddy. Cassie just filed a lawsuit, I think November or something like that. Here they go, they already raided his house. So once they raid his house, they're going to bring all that evidence. And once they bring that warrant in front of the judge, that gives them a time period that they got to wrap all this up. You know what I mean? They said, you know, they even found cocaine in the White House. There was no investigation in that. They found cocaine in the White House during this administration. And y'all didn't even say, give us an investigation. But Diddy gets a lawsuit filed against him by a woman that was living with him for over a decade. And he's guilty of sin. Not saying that he's innocent, but I'm just saying, just look at what's going on. Cocaine in the White House for the United States of America, and still there was no investigation. Could you explain that to me? And then now, one of ours get a lawsuit filed on him. He tried to run and pay the bag of money real quick, you know what I mean, to silence it, and it just blew it up even more. Come on. Like, where do we really go with that? A man's son in handcuffs. The Europeans even say the children is off limits. But everything goes for us. And then we sit back, we watch it on social media, and we say, man, you need to make audio, you're defending Diddy. Now, no, I'm defending our people. That our people need to stick together because we all have mental and psychological trauma. And we need to be fixed. I needed to be fixed. I poison my community. I take responsibility for that. When I went in and got my Life Plus 20, I took that time to try and better myself and find myself and find out where I went wrong so I could come home and try and do better for my people and give back to what I took away from them. And then still you get people say, oh, but you poisoned the community. Yes. I apologized 100 times, sincerely. So where do we go from here now? And then the Europeans, look at, what's his name, man? The one from Alabama, Jeff Sessom. He silenced Martin Luther King's wife from reading an open letter that he wrote in Congress when he was going up to be Senate, and they tried to bring the letter up. They silenced her. All of them covered up and wouldn't let, you know what I mean, Martin Luther King's wife read this letter that was going to show that this man made racist statements. And they put him in office. The rap industry, you know, owns the prison system. So they push the music out there so that, you know, young people go out there, they sliding, busting their guns, doing what they got to do, you know what I mean? To try and slide and live up to the rap lyrics. And then they get locked up and they go to the very industry that the rap industry supported, which was the prison industry.
If y'all understand it, I don't want to get too deep in it so you understand. You know, then Cassie turns around, she marries a dancer, finances get weak. She went and shook Puffy down, $25 million, he wouldn't pay it. Then she said, okay, you want to play these games? Let me tell him what really happened. And she told him what really happened from her point of view. And you already know everybody blow a little, you know, fluff into things, you know. So now he pays all this money, but it opened it up where now on YouTube, you could come on and you could make up the wildest, most outlandish stories and get views for it. I see them even making videos on one channel where they saying Yo Gotti's mother got killed. Yo Gotti's grandmother got murdered. This stuff that never even happened. But they're allowing it with no censorship to be aired on YouTube. You don't see what's going on here? J-Lo married the dancer. Cassie married the dancer. You know what I mean? I mean, you know, these is people that's just trying to find themselves, man. We all have our issues, man. We all got our issues, and this is not to sit here and, like I said, defend Diddy. It's to defend our race and stick together. The law says you're innocent until you're proven guilty, period. Innocent until proven guilty. Streamlined to the prison while they marry dancers. You know what I mean? So they trying to rush Diddy to the prison so that they can enjoy the money with the dancers. And I know the blog is going to have a field day on that, man. But I want to give a shout out to Lil Bullets Gotti, man, because, you know, he's the only one that I seen that went up there to defend the culture. Since when we want one of our own to be turned over to them? That's like the slavery days. We knew that the slaves was planning to run away. We knew that the slaves, you know, might have killed the overseer in the field. But we still hid them. We still protected them. Because they were still slaves. And we know they was wrong and guilty of sin for trying to run off on the master or harming the master. But we still knew that it was us against them. The crazy part is now we think we down with them. Until they lock your child up. Until they lock your loved ones up. And that's where it's at. I've been on here long enough, man. I just wanted to bring that out, man, to just say my piece, man. So, you know, all you rat bastards and flip-flop wearing in public trolls, go ahead and make some, you know, what they call that, make some trolling videos about what I said, defending my people, because I love my people. And I believe that my people, our people, should have the same rights as their people. Because everyone is innocent until proven guilty. But instead, the whole social media convicted P. Diddy. And he haven't even been charged yet. They're putting charges together based on what you all said. They're putting cases together about what y'all said. A matter of fact, you know, you flip-flop dancing clowns, you know, out there that's sitting here trying to disrupt the order of our people and disrespect and degrade our people like that. Because you think that it's safe to wear flip-flops in public when anything could happen and you might need to move. And you definitely can't boogie in flip-flops. You know what I mean? So let's stop it. I'm about to tap out. Been on here long enough, man. Just know, cop the Book of Raw and Harlem, man. And like I said, let's stick together as a people, man. This is definitely not cool for us to be moving like this because we supposed to stick together, man. You know, Harlem World all day, man. New York all day, man. Chicago all day. Philly all day. California all day. Miami all day. I mean, we have to come together, man. Can we come together? All right, let me tap out, man, because I've been on here long enough, and I just don't understand how we even got this far where now, you know, our people is trying and convicting each other on social media like it's nothing. Come on, man, I'm out. All right, let's go.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime. What?
Fresh out the can of 26. He back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a raw in Uptown. They be horn Uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend an ear. He started in Uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours. So we can give back to the youth them. Cause they the truth them. And bless up to all the root men.